Hakuo listeners, let's learn sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. Don't forget to join me on X and Instagram at Let's Learn Sumo. A little bit quiet lately, but I will get back to it shortly as we approach the July Nagoya tournament. Well, the Banzuke came out on Monday for the tournament starting in just under 2 weeks. Have you seen the pictures of the new Nagoya Stadium? It is very new, large, much better than the Kokugikan in Tokyo. Look, with any luck, this new stadium may force a decision over the rebuild or redo of the Kokugikan. We hope so. To be honest, there is a big museum behind the Kokugikan. It's called the Edo Museum. It's actually just had a bit of a redo itself. To be honest, it really should be demolished, moved, and a deal made to build a bigger stadium on the site. But I think that's a fight they've got to have. Anyway, let's move on to the rankings for the tournament starting in just under 2 weeks. Of course, our Yokozuna Hoshoryu, he got himself to 12-3 after a bit of a wobbly start. He got a final day win over Onosato, and he retains the Yokozuna East position. Look, I think he'll be under a little bit less pressure this tournament with the second Yokozuna. Certainly a win over Onosato on the last day. Look, that expressed his confidence and authority, and that'll be the first of hopefully many battles to come between the two of them. Of course, with the Yusho 14-1 win by Onosato, we saw his promotion to Yokozuna. It's been an incredible rise. He takes the Yokozuna West position, but funnily enough, you'll actually see his name in the Ozeki position on the Banzuke, if you know how to read it, because they must have two Ozekis on the list. They don't need to have a Yokozuna, but they must have two Ozekis for balance. So it's really only in name only. Last time it happened was many years ago, and it's to satisfy that position. He doesn't have any different rank. He is a Yokozuna. He has the full rights and privileges of a Yokozuna. They just call him the Yokozuna Ozeki position. Anyway, at Daisho, he retains his Sekiwake East 1 spot with his good 10-5. Our perennial Sekiwake, he needs to recommence his run for Ozeki. And to be honest, I think he needs something like 14 wins in Nagoya after his 9 wins in March and 10 in May to get him to 33 wins. Look, I reckon if he got to 32, even with a 13, they might start looking at him, given that they've got a spare spot there. And Daisho has proven himself over quite a long period of time. Kirishima, he retains a Sekiwake West 1 position after his very good 11 wins in May, with an 8 win in March at Komusubi. He's really only at the start of his Ozeki run there. A promotion and opening of the third Sekiwake position for Wakataka Kage after his 12 wins at Komusubi West. This is his highest position since his bad knee injury in March of 2023. Welcome return to the Sekiwake ranks for our former Yusho winner Wakataka Kage. Now comes the weird bit, where after the complete failure of the upper Megashira ranks in May, we have a few holding position and a few over promotions. Oshoma, who was at Megashira 6 East in May, he scored 10-5. He's promoted to the Sanyaku for the first time. He takes the Komusubi East position. Look, this will be a big test for the Mongolian Oshoma. Not sure he'll do so well there, but let's see how he goes. The Bear, Takiyasu. Look, he's been given quite a let-off by the ranking committee as he suffers a half-rank demotion to Komusubi after his 6 wins. Now, that hasn't happened in many years. Anyone who has scored 6 wins at Komusubi has gone down the rank. I think they've basically left in there due to the failure of the Megashira ranks and a little bit of experience and leniency there. I'm not overly surprised. But I did have him dropping to Megashira 1 in my predictions. Anyway, he gets another chance. As for meteoric rises to match Onosato, Ayanishiki, the other Ukrainian in the field, he makes it to Megashira 1 East in his only 3rd basho. It's incredible. Look, there might be a little bit of disquiet about why he didn't get the Komusubi promotion, but that would have been a 10-place promotion. Look, that was perhaps a step too far. I think his speed and his balance will serve him well. And the first week will be quite a test for him as he faces the full might of the Sanyaku with 2 Yokozunas in good form now. And look, in 4 matches over 2 tournaments, he's yet to beat any of the Sanyaku, and I think that might be the thing that tipped the scales to prevent him getting to Komusubi at that point. Anyway, look, this will be a chance to prove himself because he certainly will face all of the Komusubi in the first week at Maegashira 1. Wakamoto Haru, he's continuing his up and down return to Sanyaku as he could only post a 7 and 8 in May, so he drops half a rank to Maegashira 1 West. He replaces Oho, who could only manage 6 wins in May. He drops to Maegashira 2 East. Arby, the Man Mountain, he did one better with a 7-win tournament, so he gets half a rank demotion to Maegashira 2 West. As always, he'll be dangerous for the Sanyaku, including Hoshoryu, who last beat Arby in July of 2024. It was quite a while ago. It's a year ago since Arby was beaten by Hoshoryu. Onakatsu, he gets a 5-rank promotion to Maegashira 3 East on the back of his 10 wins. This is Onakatsu's highest rank. He's yet to face any of the Sanyaku, so he'll get that opportunity here for sure. How he deals with the extra power, that group might be the trick for him. He's really lost to a couple of those power wrestlers lately. Kimbozan, he returns to the winner's circle with 10 wins, sees him come up 5 places to Maegashira 3 West with his highest rank to date. Maegashira 5 was his previous high. Look, he's much improved. He's got a lot more consistency, that big reach, good thrusting. I expect a good tournament out of Kimbozan. Hakuoho, now look, his future will be interesting. He gets a 3-rank promotion to his highest rank at Maegashira 4 East. But there's a bit going on in the background here. His Oyakata, or former mentor Oyakata Hakuho, the former Yokozuna, he has resigned from the JSA, as we found out. He was helping with Hakuho and the other wrestlers at Isagahama stable due to the closure of Miyagino stable, but now Hakuho has left. In his stand, Oyakata Isagahama, he's seen a lot of change in that stable. So Isagahama, he now has retired forcibly, and Terunofuji, the former Yokozuna, he takes over the Oyakata name of Isagahama and the stable. So how Hakuoho, who has been left there now without being able to go back to Isagahama, how he copes with that will be interesting. Perhaps new and maybe inexperienced training methods with Terunofuji in that stable. Look, I don't truly expect any great things from the Isagahama boys until they settle into the new Oyakata, and certainly Hakuoho without his mentor. That will be interesting to see. Tamawashi, he loses a rank to Maegashira 4 West off his 6 and 9 in May. A couple of good months preceded by some very mediocre performances lately. For the veteran. Hirodumi, he drops 2 ranks to Maegashira 5. Meisei gets a 5-rank promotion with his 9 and 6 win back up to Maegashira 5. Takeda Fuji, he needs a complete reset after his dismal May at 6 and 9. He really just didn't make it look easy at all. He got a good touch-up from the Sanyaku. He lost to all of them in the mid-tournament. Maegashira East 6, he's down 2 ranks there. Goniyama, he didn't do too much better, but he did get a win over Korozakura. But in the end, it was a pretty catastrophic May tournament for him. Only 4 wins. He drops 4 ranks. I would think him lucky not to drop further, in all honesty. Tobizaru, he couldn't scrape out his Kachikoshi on the last day, so he ended up 7 and 8. He drops only half a rank. Maegashira West 6 is his. He drops to Maegashira 7 East, half a rank. Endo did well for his 9 wins. He rises 4 spots to Maegashira 7 West. Sadanumi, he had a really good tournament. He fought well. He comes up 5 places to Maegashira 8 East from Magashira 13 West. It was a pretty good May. He did look in good form. He had a couple of really good wins in May. Ichi Yamamoto, he got treated fairly harshly for his 5 wins. Just 1 win better than Goniyama. He drops 4 places to Magashira 8 West. And I think he was a little bit unlucky in May. He had a couple of good close fights that just didn't go his way. Ura also, a couple didn't go his way. He drops 4 spots to Magashira 9 East. Chiyoshoma, he drops 4 places, Magashira 9 West. Atami Fuji, he finally did push out a Kachikoshi, but gee, he had to work for it. It was, I would say, sketchy is probably the best way I can come up there. He comes up 2 spots to Magashira 10. Roga finishes on 9 wins in May. He rises 4 ranks to Magashira 10 West. Takanosho, he gets a 1 rank promotion on his 8 and 7. Toki Hayate, the relative newcomer, he gets up 2 spots to Magashira 11. Midori Fuji, he drops to a dangerous Magashira 12 East after his fairly poor run of tournaments of late. May was disastrous, getting his first win on day 10. Look, it's just not good enough. His experience really needs to help him here. And that's his second tournament this year where he's really totally failed in week 1. So Magashira 12 East for him. Asakoryu, he jumps from Magashira 17 to Magashira 12 West. Churanumi, he needs a reset, dropping to Magashira 13 after a 4-win tournament. Really bad May for him. Shodai, he is also in the danger spot. Magashira 13 West. He's had a couple of Makikoshis, and his last winning tournament was in September 2024 at 10 and 4. Since then, a string of Makikoshis, disastrous performances. So he'll be really looking for a Kachikoshi in this tournament. We have a few newcomers to Magashira with some demotions. We'll get to the demotions afterwards. Kusano, he gets a promotion to the Magashira ranks after 2 Juryo Yushos on the trot. Kumamoto native, it's only his 7th basho, that's impressive, but he did come through the accelerated university ranks. I think he's one of the first to do so, so he misses the bottom ranks of Jonakuchi, Jonadan and Sandanmei to start in the 3rd division of Makushita. Fujinokawa, he takes the Magashira 14 West rank. Now, don't be too confused if you've looked at the Juryo from last tournament and you're like, who is Fujinokawa? I don't see his name anywhere. It is actually a new ring name, a new Shikona on his promotion from Juryo. He was Waka Ikari at Juryo 5. He's changed his Shikona to a very old name within his stable, goes back to the 1800s. He got 12 wins on his debut in Magashira for Fujinokawa. Through the traditional ranks, look, just as impressive. This is his 14th basho with a Yusho win in Sandanmei, so he's done well all the way through. Koroshoho, he's lucky his injury in May didn't see him off on the Juryo barge, but he came back from injury in mid-tournament, got 6 wins. They have saved him. Magashira 15 East for Koroshoho. Hopefully he will be back to form. Hidenumi is a Juryo returnee. This will be his 11th basho in Magashira. His last appearance was in 2022, where he didn't actually appear due to injury, but before that, Magashira 9, 8 and 7. His highest rank of Magashira 5 before injury sent him all the way back to Makushita 2. Well done for him for persisting, making it back to top division. KO. Impressed enough with his mobility and balance despite a Makikoshi, only just, he keeps his Magashira spot, so we'll see the big round gold circle at Magashira 16 yet again. Mitakayumi, he returns to the Magashira ranks at Magashira 16 after a good performance in Juryo. Koto Eho, he debuts at Magashira 17. Respectable scores in the lower ranks. A Yusho in the 2 lower divisions of Jonakuchi and Jonadan. But to be honest, given his performances in those lower ranks, I'd be surprised if he keeps his rank on debut. He's going to have to show a bit of consistency. Shishi, The Ukrainian, the second one in the field, he drops to the very bottom rank of Megashira 17, which indicates that he probably copped a little bit of harsher penalty there. I don't think the judges are overly impressed with him. He probably shouldn't have dropped. I think Ron was saying he was likely to drop to about 15. They've actually dropped him to 17. That's probably an indicator of where they believe he's at. Anyway, demoted to Juryo on the Juryo barge were Ryuden, Nishikigi, Shononumi, Tamashoho, and Tochi Taikei. Not surprising with any of those guys. I see Ryuden probably coming back reasonably quickly. I see Tamashoho having another go shortly, and Tochi Taikei. Look, Shononumi, there's something going on there. Perhaps a career-ending injury that is hampering him. Now, new stadium. Look, it may be slightly less slippery on the dohyo. It's a new venue, better air conditioning. I think summer heat and humidity in Nagoya is always known as a slippery surface. Certainly more comfort for the patrons. It looks very fancy. Look, I can't pick a winner here, but I suspect the Yokozunas will battle it out for the win. I would think that both of them will be looking to get through this tournament with as few losses as possible, of course. So that should be really interesting. The Yokozuna rivalry commences. Good luck. See you all in 2 weeks with the start of the Nagoya Basho for 2025. Hakioi, let's learn sumo.